GOLDRATT'S The Goal, Chapter 2. We've wrapped up the first chapter, pretty standard for a first-person novel that's trying to teach you about manufacturing and processes. And in the kickoff for the second chapter, we dive straight in. Rogo goes back to his home. He gets there, and his wife, Julie, we meet her for the first time. She's a recurring character. You're going to see her throughout the book. And for those of you who are reading The Goal for the first time and we're expecting a standard business book, this is your first indication that this is going to go places maybe you didn't expect it to go. So Goldratt, the narrator, really wants to apply the theory of constraints, which the book is all about, in The Goal to your personal life. So he brings Rogo's personal life into the book, and Julie just kind of lets Alex Rogo have it. He's missed a date. Again, he kicks off the novel with his boss, Peach, saying these parts have got to ship on time. His wife doesn't care. She's heard it all before. She's angry. She's upset. She's been stood up by her husband for a date. This is the first of 3 settings in Chapter 2. So we begin here again at the Rogo family household. With that, we get a little bit of exposition. We learn that this is the narrator's hometown. You get really kind of the standard story of a small town with a single large manufacturer. The plant has been keeping people employed, but people are worried, is the plant going to leave town? And you look back at when this book was written. It's published, the first edition, in 1984. It's got a couple early rewrites. The first major new edition was in 1986. And Goldratt himself was a software consultant selling to these kinds of businesses in the US. So the whole kind of backdrop, the exposition given here is what you would expect. Small town America, manufacturing has left. And here you've got the plant manager has gone home. His wife is furious at him because he's missed a date. She's also lonely. She doesn't like living there. It's a small town without much to do in it. Rogo kind of deals with all this conflict, but never really resolves it. In fact, it's a constant theme that you're going to see through the rest of the book. He goes back to the plant. This is where you get a couple more nuggets of wisdom. So his team is pretty good. They've been working on expediting a part while he's been gone on his behalf, and they get the part shipped. But this is where we get kind of the nugget of wisdom that we're going to come back to a lot of times in the book, and Goldratt writes it as, why can't we consistently get a quality product out the door on time at the cost that can beat the competition? So Rogo knows that this problem that he's having has been consistent throughout his entire career in manufacturing. He talks about it. He talks about how every 6 months there's a new management consultant through, that there's a new method, a new way to do things. And then sure enough, as soon as time gets hard, corporate changes its mind and moves everybody to a different decision. This is something anyone who's worked in manufacturing or really any kind of traditional big corporate setting has lived. So, again, they go through the individual heroics. They get this part shipped. And for those of you who are into numbers, it's part 41427. I'll talk about it later when we get to the chapter on the robot. The robot's number is interesting. So I wonder what made Rogo highlight the number 41427. Sorry, not Rogo, but Goldratt when he was writing this. Again, they kind of spike the football. He's got his assistant plant manager, Donovan, who's doing a good job with it. And then he goes to a diner. So again, in small town America, he goes to a diner, he sits down, he talks to the waitress. Again, a lot of exposition. He's thinking about his life. He's thinking about how did he end up here? And then he's really thinking about what his personal goals are. And with that, you wrap up Chapter 2 of The Goal. Again, you're just starting to get into it, but you've gone this big change from Chapter 1, kind of conventional corporate setting, to Chapter 2. You get this, hey, this is different. Again, I think of this book as it's a manufacturing novel or a process engineering novel that's gone to a Halloween party and is dressed up like a really, really bad choose-your-own-adventure book. So again, it's a great book. Every page you turn, you're going to love. You've got this short summary. You've got my written summary on the internet of the chapter-by-chapter reviews. But really, you owe it to yourself to go pick up a copy. It's a great book. You'll wind up giving it to everybody that you work with. Take care.